This video is sponsored by Simply Safe. There's no safe like Simply Safe. So a former WWE wrestler, JTG, published a video on his YouTube channel, 5 things that will get you heat in a WWE locker room. Now, JTG and I were both in the WWE. However, we just missed one another, so I'm not as familiar with him, but we were in the same era. So we're gonna review JTG's video together, and I'm gonna tell you what I agree with, and most of all, what I disagree with, and it's a lot.
One of the things that will get you heat that I had to find out the hard way is not wiping your feet before entering the ring. That doesn't just go for the WWE ring, that goes for any ring.
We learned from Al Snow in Tough Enough early in our training about wiping our feet. And I can admit, for the most part, if it came to mind, I 100% would wipe my feet. But for the most part, most guys are not wiping their feet. I agree with his premise. It is a good practice, and in a perfect world, everyone would wipe their feet. Everyone would knock off all the street dirt before they got into a ring. But unfortunately, we don't live in a perfect world. Unfortunately, we're stuck here in reality. And JTG, my brother, you know as well as I know, that's just not the case, and it just does not happen. When I became a full-time on-the-road talent, they were looking for anything that they possibly could to give me heat. They were looking for whatever they could find to get mad at me. And I can't think of one time, not one match, I ever wiped my feet. Furthermore, not only did I not get in trouble for it, I never heard of anyone getting in trouble for it during my 4+ years in the WWE. And I guarantee you, if it was something that was policed so hard, there would have been somebody telling us, make sure you wipe your damn feet. Now, I'm not saying he didn't get heat for it. I'm not saying people didn't tell him to wipe his feet. All I'm stating is it wasn't the thing that was getting you heat. Now, it was a way of showing respect, but it was not something that was going to make or break your career in the WWE. One thing I do know that will land you in hot water, get you heat in the WWE locker room, is sleeping in the car. But what do I mean by that? After a WWE show, remember, it's late, usually after 10 p.m. You have to get to the next town. Now, many of these drives would be 3 to 4 hours long, and with 2 to 4 people in the car, as long as you're not the one behind the wheel, you think this would be a perfect time to catch up on that much needed shut-eye. But this is where you would be wrong. A heavily enforced unwritten rule is that if you're in the car, whether you're in the passenger seat or one of the back seats, as long as you're in the car, everyone stays awake. The driver, he's just as tired and just as exhausted. He's had just as challenging of a day as you have. So would it be fair that the person in the back seat is able to catch up on those Z's? Absolutely not. And another fairly obvious reason this rule exists is safety. When you have a 4-hour car ride at night, it's easy for everyone to want to fall asleep. When the whole car is awake, everyone stays alert. Now, my mama always told me nothing good happens after midnight, and trust me, I know this firsthand. Not long after becoming a WWE wrestler, I was at home one night, minding my business, relaxing on the porch, and a man dressed in all black walked up my driveway. He pointed a gun directly at my head, and he said words that sent a chill up my spine, and frankly still do. He said, "Maven, I got you anytime I want you." And although he didn't take anything or hurt anyone that night, what he did take was my security. My house, the place I should have felt the safest, now felt like a threat. Nobody should ever feel like that, which is why I want to introduce you to Simply Safe. Most home security systems only react after a break-in. Simply Safe, on the other hand, uses an active guard outdoor protection that stops intruders before they get inside. Using advanced AI, Simply Safe can tell who's friendly and who's not. If it detects a threat, it triggers an alarm, spotlights, or even calls the police. It's no surprise that Simply Safe has been named the best home security system 5 years in a row. And And on a personal note, I love the Simply Safe app. Why? Because this is always on me, and the alerts, I get them instantly. And right now, you can save 50% off your Simply Safe security system when you sign up for a professional monitoring plan and get your first month absolutely free. To do it, just visit simplysafe.com/Maven to customize your very own. So to protect the things you truly love, there's no safe like Simply Safe.
The infamous massage table. You don't want to be that guy who's a mid-card guy or a lower mid-card guy, and a top guy comes in wanting to massage your in the table.
The masseuse on a television day will arrive exactly when we do, and he'll stay usually far into the show. So a lot of times this masseuse is there for 9+ hours. That just tells me go at different times. And if for some reason you find yourself on a massage table and a top guy comes in, well, play it off. You know what? We were just finishing up. Don't be the guy, yeah, we got 45 more minutes. Come back later, Hunter. That will get you heat, but just be better. So technically, yes, it is something that can get you heat, but it's heat you can avoid. Now, on the flip side, there are some things that can get you mega heat backstage, and I actually witnessed this firsthand, and it would be having your spouse or significant other in the locker room too often. There are some occasions when it's perfectly fine to have your spouse, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your family backstage, but to have them there week after week after week, oh, absolutely not. For the majority of the boys, when they're on the road, they are on the road, and their home life, it's at home. And some spouses might see behavior that they don't approve of. Why do they not approve of? Because they think if so-and-so's doing this, well, my guy's doing the same thing. If you remember from my hooking up in the WWE video, well, boys will be boys. And a lot of guys, well, they had a side piece. Even the married ones. Obviously, this was something that not a single wrestler wanted their spouse back home to find out about. But when someone else's spouse is on the road full time and sees all this behavior, well, the narrative, it leaves your control. And during my time, there was a spouse who was regularly in the locker room who witnessed and revealed this sensitive information. And even though this wrestler was not the one spreading secrets, well, he was the one who took the brunt and lost the trust of some of the boys. Now, I'm in no way, shape, or form condoning cheating. I'm just a messenger.
Sunglasses. You see, it's not so much the shades itself in the building. It's more of the attitude that comes with it. If you're a new guy, oh, you better be humble.
I have one main question for you, my friend, and that question is, why? Now, I do understand, and I do give a little latitude. Maybe this is just how he expressed himself. Maybe this was just his choice of style. When they changed the dress code and we had to arrive business casual, for the most part, most guys would wear a pair of slacks or a pair of khaki pants and a button-up shirt. Well, I decided to take this a step further, and I went full-on prep and showed up in a button-up and a nice sweater over top of it with a tie, and basically looked like I was a part of Boys to Men circa 1994. But that was just my style. So I'm not gonna go too hard on JTG if he was just expressing his style. Now, when I made questionable style choices and when I showed up on the road looking like Carlton from Fresh Prince, I did not get heat. No, I got ridicule instead, and guys would poke fun at my expense. But there was no way I was getting heat. I mean, my clothing options wasn't gonna affect my rise in the WWE. No, it was just gonna affect my ego and what I decided to put on the next day.
Oh yeah, you're comfortable. You just put your bags up in the storage, you put your seatbelt on, and you get real comfortable. You're like, you rest your head against the window, then you open your eyes and you see a veteran. Do you say hi and rest your head back down and close your eyes? I'll give you a first class ticket to Heatland.
So this rule about giving up a seat to a veteran, whether it be backstage or on an airplane, is actually one where JTG and we kind of see eye to eye. However, this rarely happens on airplanes. I mean, what's the difference in seat 21D or seat 34F? And the WWE is not buying first class seats for regular talent. They're giving seats at random. And if a veteran, I guess, wants your seat, you would give it up. But during my time, I only saw one occasion where a wrestler would offer his seat to a top guy, and he offered, the other guy happily accepted. It just didn't happen often. There's not much difference in seating. If you're relaxing on a plane and someone wants your seat, well, it's because they're ribbing you. They're playing a joke on you. It's not because they're trying to have anything land you in hot water or find you with heat. On the topic of veterans, there is one thing that can get you heat, and that would be overstepping your boundaries. When you're in a WWE locker room and there's a group of veterans talking, usually they're talking because they have a shared past. They have shared memories. They've done stuff that you weren't part of. There's no reason for you to chime in. Sit back, listen, learn, hear what they say. If they laugh, chuckle, but don't chuckle too loud. Why? You weren't there. Same goes for when a match is being put together. The veteran is going to put the match together, and he's going to do this without you adding in your 2 cents unless you're asked. Now, most veterans, they're going to ask what you're good at, what you're comfortable taking, what your favorite moves are, because they want to have a good match. But you never, and I mean never, want to just start telling the spots that you think you should do. Why? They've earned the right to put the match together. You have not. And what can happen to a rookie wrestler if he gives his unsolicited ideas to a veteran? Well, hold that thought. We'll get back to that later.
When you were in the locker room, if it was a pay-per-view, live event, Raw, whatever it was, talent stayed to the last match.
I both agree and disagree with JTG when it comes to staying till the end of the show. Where I agree with him is, even during my time, leaving early, it is something that will get you heat and land you in hot water. They want to know that you respect, like he said, the people that brought the house, and they want you to watch so you can get better. Where I disagree is we're all adults. And if you don't want to stay to the end of the show, you shouldn't have to stay to the end of the show. Now, I think it's wise to stay to the end of the show. And for my case study, I give you John Cena. He would stay, he would watch every match, and he would learn something, whether it be something he should use or something he should discard. However, if you want to get a head start getting to the next town, I don't think there should be an unwritten rule that makes you stay to the end. If you've fulfilled your obligation, if you've wrestled, you've done your job for that night, why should you have to stay 2 to 3 more hours just so you don't find yourself with unnecessary heat? Now, there is a trick to not getting heat with this unwritten rule, and that is riding with a veteran. Veterans, they were the exception. If a veteran wanted to leave 1 second, 1 minute after their match, they trumped everything. You left when they said they wanted to leave. And if anyone questioned why you weren't there to the end of the show and you told them, I was in the car with so-and-so, case was closed right then. Well, speaking of veterans, I mentioned earlier that I would tell you what would happen to a rookie who offered unsolicited ideas. To find out what those consequences are, watch the video on screen.